Okay, working the train here again a little bit. So I'm trying to get the tape off the inside of the case here, and it don't like coming off. I did a good job of keeping it dammed up over there though. Just a matter of getting it to come off again is the problem. So these pieces over here I'm working on now. It appears that the tape, the purple part of the stuff stays, not the clear part. So I'm not sure what that layer is. It stays in there. It's a sticky glue part of the tape that stays behind. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back, do a bit of grinding on it. Try to clean this up a little bit, and then probably take it back and re-blast it, and the blaster should take off the rest of the residue in there I don't want inside the training. So not much for all this residue in there. Oh well. So the paper, where did I use the paper? The paper's right over here. Paper just sticks to the JB weld there, and it's paper. So it does a good job of there, and it just dissipates away unlike plastic. Yeah. Get this to come up. It's stuck everywhere. Yeah. Any damn fingernails left. There you go. I got part of it coming. Part of it came. Can't tell how much of that's tape and how much of this other junk. Alright, I'm going to go scrape it off, grind out a little bit, and we'll come back, see what it looks like. Okay, I got this all cleaned up. I'm going to take it black and blast it. Get the rest of that residue off I can't get off. So, there's what it looks like for now. I cleaned up all the areas. Should all be cleaned up pretty good. So, JB weld all stuck real good. Relatively out of the way. So, they got a little thin right through here, but other than that it all looks good. Everything else is encapsulated pretty good. So just gotta get rid of that damn tape residue. So the tape worked fairly good on keeping the JB weld where it needed to be, but it's a pain in the ass to clean up. So basically waste another day screwing with it. But that's if I don't do them all in one day around here. So do a little bit here, a little bit there, and eventually it gets done. Alright, so that one's ready to go out here. Look, I'm putting beads all over the place too. Wonderful. Alright, put all the beads on the table now. That's why you don't put filthy ass crap on your clean ass table. Transfer. Alright. Yuck. Your hands feel it more than anything. Okay, clean that bead off again. Okay, I got to turn the diameter of this down here a little bit, so I'll get back to that. So, I'm going to get this apart. See how it's making a mess here? Yeah, it went all over everything already. That's where I cleaned this off with the solvents inside of the mechanism. And it drained all over the table. So it makes the table messy again. There we go. The way it goes around here. Okay, this here I recut the clicker gear. And clean my table off. So this here I went and ground all the teeth. Used a 2-inch disc sander. So I just knocked out all the radius of the whole edge around each tooth, so knock off the sharp edges, so hopefully it'll stop it digging into the ramp like the last one did. So when this comes around, it should kick the gear up without heating it up too bad, hopefully. At least that's a theory. Don't know how it works. Find out. So this here I painted it so it wouldn't rust. The detail makes it look better. Make a nice tranny of a nice rusty shaft sticking out. Doesn't look too good. So that's why I did that. More solvent. Okay, so I'm going to take this thing apart here. Get it all cleaned out. You see it's still got solvent running out of it. So this here has screws and stuff in here. You can see how they're sticking through kind of long, and this part of the cover is broken off right there. It's not going to hurt. It's 6 screws. That one's not going to kill it, missing one of them. But it's just damage you do. I got to deal with. It's all part of rebuilding these things. Okay. Get this thing apart. See what it looks like. First thing you do is take the nut off. Now I already painted the steel parts. I'm going to let them sit. Nice and dirty that is on the inside. These have to be cleaned again. So I went ahead and painted all these steel parts here. That's why they're all painted right now. I painted the back side of this cover plate and the OD. So that way I don't have to worry about it later. Jeez. Tight. Jeez. I'm going to go put some heat on these. I don't know if they're Loctite or what, but they're not coming off. Jeez. Yeah, those are tight. There's no way those screws are that tight without Loctite on them. That means they probably got some heavy duty stuff on them. Alright, so I'm going back and heat it up with a torch, warm it up. You get Loctite heated up to 350 before it melts. So I'll go melt it. And hopefully make it looser. If nothing else, things will expand and maybe come through freer anyway. Alright, so I'm going to go take this apart. I'll be back. Okay, I finally got that out. So I had to heat it up with a torch and get the Loctite to free up. Well, it went off. So I finally got it all off. Once I heated up, stuff came out pretty easily. So anyway, it's all off. So when I got apart, the springs are definitely bowed. It's supposed to look like this. So we're going to get new springs. The other problem was it's just real easy. If you look at it, the indent spring is not even got tension on it in there. So that's pretty limp there. The other problem is the springs have worked. These here are not very strong looking either. They're looking kind of bent. So these are the new ones here. So I'm going to pull those out and see what they look like. I'll be right back. Okay, got the springs out. I get this plunger out now. Some more chisel. Hammer. Get the lock tab out of the way. Man, they painted every piece of it over. Didn't quite put it on correctly either. So the lock tab is supposed to go over the side on these two sides, and 2 tabs here hold it up. So they bent this one over, that one over, that one over, and then this one was the other direction. So it kind of worked, but it sure was a lot of work. Put all those tabs over. Just want to make sure that light duty spring didn't fall off. I think we're going to be needing a new lock tab. We definitely got carried away on doing that wrong. Okay, works real free now. Dirty spot that's left over from all the blasting. Most of that's muck, so it wipes off. There you go, looks a lot better now. Okay, so here's our indent. It's called a cam follower. Bolt, spring, and plunger. So, this is supposed to have tension on it. So it does have some tension. Still got liquid in it. Blow it off here. Alright, blew it off. I need to wipe off the excess solvent off of it. There's what it looks like inside. There's the actual plunger. Looks like it's wearing pretty good. And this is the spring. Usually when a spring is laying over, it's weak. They don't lay over when they're at full strength. Okay, so here's all our springs. So there's that one. There's a new one over here. So there's the indent spring. Here's the follower. These are the other indent springs. So you can see how much these are collapsed. Most of the time this stuff's good, but in this mode everything's wasted. So you can see how those are all collapsed, and obviously these two are pretty easy to see. So all three of these springs are limp. It means this thing was really limp on the shifting. It probably didn't shift very good because it didn't really have a good indent that held the dog in the correct spot. Because when this is kind of floating around, the shift forks are kind of floating around too, which means your dogs are floating around. So you're getting a very crappy shifting. You won't want to stay in gear. It'll want to pop out of gear pretty easy too, which might be what has had a lot of problems with training. It's hard to tell, but all of these things add up to being not very good. So anyway, we got to replace all of these springs with the good ones. And when you take this one and stick it over here, go like this. Let's see, make sure that is tight in there. Both hands for this. It looks a little loose, but nope, it feels good. Okay. It just has a big chamfer right here in the end. Okay, so now that has a little bit more tension on it. So you can see the wear mark right here, where the old one was. See the difference? So with a mark, put the correct spring in there. See, we're way above the mark. So that means now we're going to have tension on our cover in here. So it's not going to be a limp shifter like it was. So let's just put it back in here. See, it's already got tension on already. I'm still tightening it up. Okay, now there's supposed to be a lock tab in here, so I'll back it off just a little bit for the lock tab. So now, see, now you got a positive stop on this thing. No more limp shifter. See, the spring indent is in there where it belongs. Get it where you can kind of see it, I don't know. So anyway, it's not flopping around anymore. Alright, so that's just simple stuff. Worn out springs. Okay, so this is all going to have to be put back together with the correct stuff in here. And then we'll be good to go. Alright. So, bad springs, bad springs, bad springs. Okay, all of this stuff's bad. Goes over in the junk box. Okay, so we got all our good stuff here now. That's all good. Okay, this is our rest of our stuff here. Make sure all this stuff is good. Make sure these aren't worn out in there. And they're a little loose. Yeah, oop. And kind of flop around a little bit. Yeah, they're both kind of loose. Oh well. The way it goes. But we'll put good springs with it. That'll tighten up the shifting. Those indents are what goes into here in the shaft, and that's what ratchets the gear mechanism. And the other ones go in here, obviously, to return it. Alright, so that needs to be worked on just a little bit. I'm going to have to get me some gaskets, because gaskets are pretty well gone. So I'm not going to play with this one. This is good. I'm just going to check the adjustment, make sure it's good. I got to scrape off this gasket off of here, and then this can go back together. Okay. The other thing I got to do is I got to go cut this down yet. So those are the two things we're going to work on tonight. All right, let me go find a gasket. We'll be back.